Welcome to Elixium Podcast, where health is personal, meaningful, and lasting. We go beyond quick fixes to uncover the root causes of how you feel so you can take control of your health and your future. Hey guys, we're here. Today's episode is going to be a little different. We're here with my father. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, everything from, his experiences all the way to why we created Elixium and how it's different, to who knows what else will come up in the conversation. So
it's free for all.
It's a free for all. So tell us a little bit about your experiences, how you ended up where you ended up, how we ended up doing what we're doing, all that stuff.
So, so I've always been in the medical field. I became a firefighter paramedic at the age of 19 and worked with a department in Florida for many, many years, running calls, putting out fires. Just happened to be that the station I was at was very busy, 24 to 25 calls in a 24-hour period. A lot of them, we had to wear bulletproof vests. We were dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of shootings, a lot of different things like that. So it was stressful, but also very exciting in the way it got me very excited about the medical field and what we could do, saving patients and doing things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And then we moved out to Colorado and tried to do the same thing. Just got very hard for me to get on a job, mostly because I was a little older at the time. So I decided to go to surgical tech school and stay in the medical field. And so I went through school, did all that, and then I found a position with another clinic about 15 years ago that was looking to hire someone with the medical experience and also personal training experience, which I also had because we owned a gym in Florida, and I had been into fitness all my life. So I applied for this and ended up working with another doctor at a clinic that was at a gym in Arvada. Very busy gym, very well-known gym, and kind of got, baptized by fire, I'd like to say, because the doctor that was the head of the clinic was busy in another profession as well, and didn't have a lot of time to help me. So I had to do all my own research, investigation, certifications, everything I could get hold of about hormone business. I try about labs, how to read labs, what labs meant. I did it all kind of on my own, and then saw a lot of patients. They eventually brought in a PA there, and I had to teach her because she came in. That's the thing with this business is there's not a lot of experienced providers out there. They may dabble, they may know a little bit, but they don't have the experience to specialize in what we do. So I wanted to make sure that I was the specialty, that I knew, that I had the experience, that for our patients, that I knew all the ins and outs, how to do it right, what not to do, what was going to cause problems, so forth and so on. So I, embedded myself in that consistently to learn everything I could. And then eventually, and that's where you came on with me when we were with that clinic. And, trained you got a taste of it. And then we decided to start our clinic on our own with another doctor, a great doctor that we liked. And we kind of started like that. And, our goal has always been patient-centric care, take care of the patient. It's not about the money. Yes, we're a business, but at the end of the day, it's what's best for the patient, not what's necessarily best for us, right? So, so that's kind of, I love it. It's my passion. I get very passionate about it when I speak. and people can kind of take that for what it's worth. Sometimes I can get a little emotional, a little loud, but that's just passion. I love what we do. I think it's extremely beneficial and necessary for people to understand what's going on in their body, and then how we can not only optimize it, but in doing so, we're preventing so many things in the future, right? And that's why, when I see my 20-year-olds, I mean, it's best to start now. Maybe they don't need to be on testosterone. That's fine. I agree with that. But there's still things that they need to understand. And if they get that baseline now, then they're setting themselves up for the future, where now we can track all this stuff and we can keep them healthy and prevent things from happening. Again, we have a lot of, because it's a new science, I guess, something that hasn't really been delved into a lot until recently. There's a lot of still learning. A lot of people are, we use A4M as our certification process. They are kind of the go-to certification, as we know, for all things hormones. They're cutting edge. They're always researching, coming up with the newest ways to deal with this. So we stay very, very in tuned, stay abreast with our research and our learning, so that we know what's the thing that's out now, right? And okay, where this was acceptable back then, it's no longer acceptable. It's changed. Now we have to do it this way. I don't think a lot of clinics are doing that. I'm not obviously going to call out any clinics, but they're like 7-Elevens now. They're a dime a dozen. They're on every corner. A lot of them I feel are a money grab. They're not really doing it right. They haven't spent the time we have. So a lot of it's cookie cutter treatments, and ours are a little bit more dialed in because we've learned. We did cookie cutter back in the beginning. That's just what we did.
Well, it was the standard.
That was the standard. I remember, start with a 100 milligram test your first month, second month you go to 200 milligram test. That's just what we did.
Which is insane to think about now. Yeah.
And now we're very dialed in. Some people are on the same treatment, obviously, but every client's a little different. Every client's okay. We have to see. Some clients goes as far as, hey, we can't use grapeseed oil in the testosterone for this patient. We have to use MCT oil because they're sensitive to it. It goes that far. And so that's where, I love it. It's intricate. It's detailed. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't think about it that way.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful type of medicine because of how preventative it is and how it makes just people feel better. It gives them their life back. Their quality of life is just exceeds their expectations as they're getting older. They realize, wow, I can still do all these things. And before they came to us, they thought, it's over. I can't do that. I can't ride my bike like I used to. I can't run like I used to. I can't do sports. I can't, whatever it was. And, we can get them back with their quality of life they want. And that's for me. I'm 59 years old. I don't want to slow down. I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing 20 years from now, if I can. And so there's only one way to do that. It's to take care of yourself, make sure you're supplementing properly, make sure your body's working to the best of its ability, right? Yep. That's what we do.
Yep, I agree. So why do you think that we do it? I know you said that we were patient-centric.
Yeah.
Which we are.
Yeah.
That's definitely a key. And to piggyback on what you said, as far as other clinics being super cookie cutter, I think that that's one portion of it. I think also the expense of those that are doing it right. You have, many providers that I've met through either doing this or just through networking that, they discuss kind of what their philosophy is and how they treat patients and how they go about it. And then they're like, and our upfront cost it's $5,000 to start with us.
Right.
And then on a monthly basis, you're paying for prescription. And it's just like,
right.
So you're making it the upper echelon that can now afford longevity and health optimization.
Yeah.
Where that should be a standard.
Yeah.
Honestly, healthcare as a whole and insurance companies should be pushing preventative health. That is never going to happen.
Yeah.
But that should be the standard.
Well, preventative health, right? That's more money out of the pocket for the insurance companies. I think what people don't understand is insurance companies are in the business to make money, right? Mm-hmm. How do they make money? They don't cover your costs. They turn you down. That's what they do. That's their job. I'm not saying, good, bad, whatever, but that's what people need to understand is your insurance company's job is to not take care of you. That's how they make money. That's why people invest in insurance companies, right? It's an investment to make money. That becomes a problem, and that's where our healthcare as a whole is a problem because it's sick care. It's not health care. They don't want you to be healthy. They're not trying to keep you healthy. It's sick care. And again, even sick care, they're not really treating you. And this isn't across the board, right? There are providers that do a good job.
There are primary care providers that do
primary care providers that do a good job, right?
We talk a lot of crap about primary care providers, but at the same time, we've talked to patients of ours that it's like, my primary did this, and that, and it's like, wow, man, that is a 1 in a million.
Keep that primary care.
That person needs to have more patients.
But I've had others that have, they just turn you down for everything. Yeah. They don't care. They don't listen. They're going to treat your symptoms, right? You got to figure on average, they're going to see you for 7 minutes. So in 7 minutes, they got to make a diagnosis and treat you. They can't do that unless you're going in with the flu.
Right.
You're going in with, COPD, something where they can diagnose quickly and they can treat that. But more than not, you get treated on your symptoms.
Right. And ultimately, is that the provider's fault at all?
It's insurance company.
It's insurance company's fault.
They're hamstrung by the insurance company.
They are 100% dictating what that provider does.
And that's why we don't do insurance.
That's exactly.
And we will never will, at least for our preventative side. If we ever go into primary care, we probably will have to if we do that.
Maybe.
Or we go concierge and, like we've talked about in the past. But, we are trying to dive deeper. And that's what I try to explain to people when they come in, especially if they're on certain treatments already or, thyroid's a big one, right? Primary care typically always never pulls a full thyroid panel. They've been taught, which is wrong. It's been proven wrong 100 times now, is just pulling a TSH does not show you what the thyroid's doing. That's been their go-tos for ever since the thyroid was recognized, probably, is, just pull the TSH. TSH will show. No, that's not true. We've proved it. We've seen it 100 times, right? TSH tells me what your pituitary is doing. It doesn't necessarily tell me what your thyroid's doing from an active hormone standpoint, right? So we see that misdiagnosed all the time. We see people that aren't on medications that should be on something at least to support their thyroid function. Hashimoto's is something we see all the time, and their doctors never check that, right? It's an easy check, but insurance probably won't cover that.
No, insurance isn't going to cover TPO.
Again, you can't go in expecting your primary care doctors to be able to do things that they know insurance isn't going to cover.
Right. They're
just either going to be out of pocket a bunch of money, or you're going to be out of pocket more money.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is the provider has to pay it.
So has to pay it.
If the insurance company does not cover whatever they pull, ultimately they're going to have to pay.
Yeah. And they're not going to get stuck with that.
No.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
And that's the thing, is it sucks that it's the person that the patient's going to see that is ultimately going to be the person blamed for whatever lack of care that they received.
Right.
So
right.
It's unfortunate, but
yeah. And with us, what I think people appreciate too is we do have people that come in and say, hey, I want to see this. I want to check my lipid panel, right? That's one thing we don't typically check, because your doctor will check that every time you go in there. They're going to check CBC, CMP, and your lipids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, which a lot of our patients don't have primary care doctors.
Right.
Unless that's the case, then we probably aren't checking a lipid panel.
Right.
But yeah.
But I mean, I think they appreciate the fact that you can come in and you can say, hey, listen, I'm concerned about my A1C. Okay, we'll pull it. right? We don't charge you a bunch for that. We charge you what we get charged. We want you to get the information you need. So, and it helps us to make decisions. If this is something you're concerned about, we want to help you either ease your mind that everything's fine or help you treat it, help you figure out how can we fix this, right? So that's, I think, a good thing. And then we also, we go a little further with the fact that if we pull our typical initial panel and we see things that are off, we pull more biomarkers. Yep. We don't hesitate. We want to get all the information. The medical industry is information driven. If it's not, you need to run. If your doctor isn't doing it that way, you need to run. Go find another doctor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just guessing. Yeah. They're guessing. They're putting putting meds, giving you meds that could harm you based on their guess, right?
Or based on a Band-Aid effect.
Or based on, okay, this is your symptom. This is what I typically give you for that, right? With no looking a little deeper to find out what's actually going on here.
Which, in my opinion, our goal ultimately long-term is root cause care.
100%.
Is let's find the actual root cause.
Yeah.
Because I've always felt like, all right, hormones used to be 10, 15 years ago when we started, it was like hormones was a root cause, or at least you're not putting a Band-Aid on something. We're fixing something.
Right.
Or we're treating something. You can't really fix. If you have clinically low testosterone, you can't fix it. You can at least treat it.
We can treat it. And it's fixed while you're taking the meds.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, now looking at it, it's like, well, what's the root cause of the low testosterone? Because there's probably something. Sure. I mean, it could be environmental. It could be so many other things.
Stress. I had a client that worked in automotive, as a diesel mechanic, and there's a lot of toxins there. And there's a lot of patients, a lot of people out there that work in toxic environments, and they don't wear respirators. They don't wear, and they're absorbing this stuff, and that's affecting the hormones, right? So there's so many things. It used to be age only.
Yeah.
Even now, your primary care. I told a guy today, he's 36. I'm like, you go in your primary, there's a chance they're not even going to pull your testosterone levels because you're only 36.
Right.
And they don't feel that, and they don't understand that age is not a factor anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have 20-year-olds that are tanked.
We do. Yes.
Military, right? Come home, you're stressed, PTSD,
firefighters,
police officers, right? So stress, environment are big factors. Genetics plays a part, but they're big factors in how your body works in general, not just hormones, right? So, I've got a guy that's got celiac, and it's hard. He's sensitive to everything. Not because he's sensitive, but the celiac makes him sensitive to a lot of different things. So we've had to tweak, where most of the time guys come in, it's pretty easy fix. Most of our guys are pretty easy. We can fix them, get them to feel better, treat certain things, get their hormones up, get them feeling really good. This guy, unfortunately, is just a little harder. So we've spent some time, and he understands. He's patient. He knows that he's going to be a tougher patient because of the autoimmune. And a lot of people, I feel, have autoimmune. They don't even know it, like Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
Right? And the doctors aren't typically looking for that unless you're going to, someone that specializes more on autoimmune diseases. But again, with our insurance, how do you get there? You have to be referred by a primary who isn't even looking for it. Right. So how do you even get there?
Yeah. And there's so many, and they're so hidden.
Yeah.
A lot of times you won't even feel the symptoms of an autoimmune disease until it's not too late, but again, until it's so exacerbated.
Hashimoto's is a perfect example. They're going to treat your thyroid. You're going to be on thyroid meds. Nobody's treating your Hashimoto's. So your TPO numbers keep going up. Inflammation keeps happening. They have to adjusting doses of medication because your thyroid keeps deteriorating, right? And they've never dealt with the Hashimoto's. And there are simple things to do to treat that. But if you don't know to treat it if you don't look. And that's the problem, is they're not looking. So, it's a fascinating business. I get a lot of people that come in. I mean, there's so much information now online. that have a lot of people that come in that have done research on their own. Some of it's bogus information. You got to be real careful, right? And that's why I tell people when we, because we're good at doing the labs, getting the labs to our patient. And I tell them, when you get the labs, don't start Dr. Googling everything on the lab, because you're gonna be afraid. If you see reds, it's gonna scare you, because you're gonna see stuff that you don't want to see. That's worst case. That's not right. There would have to be lots of markers, lots of things, line up for it to be the worst case. So I usually tell them, just wait till I can explain these to you, and then you'll feel a lot better. I still have people that Dr. Google it. And, I get on the phone, they're already nervous. What's that? What's this? Why is this red? Why is this? Relax. It's okay. This is what's going on. It could be just a vitamin B12 deficiency. Yeah. Could be a vitamin D deficiency, right? Could just be micronutrient deficiencies that are causing a lot of this. But, we got to talk through it. We got to figure it out.
Yeah. What do you think the next big thing in the industry is going to be?
Peptides. I mean, peptides are the thing now, but there's still, I'll give my opinion on it. With the FDA, they're not the most forthwith, I guess, as far as why they do things they do. They come up with reasons that I don't agree with, but peptides are going to be the future. They help your body naturally do what it's supposed to do, which is great. We're not injecting you with like testosterone, which is a supplementation, right? It's your body's not making it. The only way to get it is to supplement. Women, same thing, right? Your hormones are gone. You've gone through your postmenopausal. Your hormones are gone. The only way to get those hormones, there's nothing natural that's going to bring those hormones back. Yeah. If you're hearing that, they're just trying to take you to the cleaners. They want you to pay for something that's not going to help. The only way to get that back is to replace those hormones, period. Peptides are different. They work to help your body work better, right? CJC, ipamorelin, great peptide, growth hormone releasing peptide, growth hormone releasing hormone, helps your body start to produce growth hormone again. So it's anti-aging, right? Helps with recovery, helps with fat loss, helps with muscle gain, helps with cognitive function, helps with sleep. If you're not sleeping, which a lot of people out there are having problems sleeping for whatever reason, you're not producing growth hormone, right? Overnight is when you produce the most. In low insulin environment, growth hormone gets produced. If you're not sleeping, your growth hormone production is going to be down, recovery is going to be bad. It's going to affect your whole body. Peptides, CJC ipamorelin, helps your hypothalamus and pituitary start to produce more growth hormone. Helps you sleep so you can produce more growth hormone, right? So this is what we're getting to. BPC TB500. I don't want to call it a miracle, but it's a healing peptide, and it actually does that. We have so many people that are choosing to get that because of surgeries, because of chronic problems they've had, and it can be life-changing for someone that I can't lift my arm above my shoulder, and all of a sudden they can, and they can sleep because they don't ache all night long. That's life-changing, right? So yeah, I would see, that's one big thing. Peptides are a big thing. I would say the next thing, there's so many things, right? But gut health. Gut health is on the forefront, and you hear it all the time. Your gut's a second brain. If your gut's not good, you're going to have problems. You're going to have illnesses. You're going to have disease. So understanding that and understanding your gut, what you need to do to prevent some of this, to fix it, to get the microbiome right, to get the parasites out, to get all these different things, you have to do a test to find out. You can't just guess. And, probiotics are a great thing if they're taken the right way. But now they're just a mainstream thing. You go and everybody's on, they just go to the store and grab a probiotic, and they really have no idea what they're taking and why. And unfortunately, it can start to cause you problems versus help you fix the problems. So understanding where you're lacking in your gut microbiome, what's going on there, do you have too much growth? Do you not have enough? Digestive enzymes are another big thing, right? If there's a lot of people, including me, that just you're not producing enough gastric juice. So when you're eating and you're bloated and you just, I can't, it might just be that your food's not getting broken down. It's sitting. It's causing you bloat. It's causing you even diarrhea, acid reflux. All these things could just be the fact that you need to take a digestive enzyme to help you break down those foods, right? And for me, that's what helped. I take that, it fixes me up. I don't have to take it forever, but it gets me back for whatever reason. I'm having a problem, get it fixed. I can go without. And then there might be another time where I go, okay, yep, I'm going to probably need that again. Mm-hmm. But again, getting those gut checks, doing a gut lab like we have is going to help you really again, it's all about taking the guessing out of our medical industry.
Yeah.
Why not just go by the facts? Why not get the tests, find out for sure this is what's going on? It's an easy fix. I mean, if you have a problem with your car, you're not just guessing. You don't just start replacing everything in your car. You typically want to take it to a mechanic. They do diagnostics, find out what's wrong, and then you fix that. Well, why not? Why don't we do that with our body? And we don't. And our primaries don't. Mm-hmm. So we have to take control of that as the consumer, as the patient. We have to start taking a little bit more control and responsibility for our health. There's no excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's so many ways to find out what's wrong. Yes, it might cost you a little bit. Yes, insurance might not cover it because they're not going to cover that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, you're going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later.
Yeah.
So it's your decision.
That's going to be our new tagline.
Yeah.
Stop treating your car better than your body.
Right.
We're trademarking that. All right. To switch it, what are we on time?
27.
27?
27 minutes.
Okay. 150. What is the best thing about you and I working together?
Well, number one, I think,
I get this question a lot because, I work with my dad.
Yeah.
I have for whatever, on and off for 15 years.
Working with families sometimes can be, and we've had to learn. Mm-hmm. I'm that, A type, right? I'm as our friend B would tell me, I'm an 8-hole. I can be an 8-hole. That's a great saying, and it fits me perfectly because sometimes I don't feel I have to be in control, but I want to be in control somewhat. I want to be a part of everything that happens. And when we started together at Relive, at the other one, I helped you. You were new. You needed my help. You relied on me to kind of help you with that, train you, figure things out. When we were doing Relive, I kind of gave you the reins to run the business, and I didn't micromanage you. I kind of let you kind of do what you needed to do, and I think that's where we have kind of got to a point where we understand our strengths. You run the business, and I'm great with that. Yes, do I want to be involved? Do I want a say, inclusion in where we're going as a company? Of course. I think it's you and I. We're running this. We're going to grow it. It's going to be the way we decide together how to do that. But you have the business side. I have the provider side, and I think we've learned not to try to overstep that. I trust you with what you do. You make great decisions. Sometimes I question them, and more than not, you're right, I'm wrong. But, and then on my side, you don't ever try to question what I'm doing. You ask. You help me by making sure we have everything we need from a business standpoint to do our job really well. And I think we've gotten to a point where we trust each other. We work together. I respect you. I feel you respect me. And when we're at work, I try not to be your father. And I've learned to do that. It's been hard. It's tough. It's always tough because you're my kid. So, you always want to try to be the father. You always want to try to, and I have to check myself every now and then and go, okay, is this the time? How should I help him with this? And that's something I pray about every day is how can I help you do better? Give me wisdom to direct you or be a sounding board, not even direct you, but just be there. If you have a question, give me the wisdom to point you in the right direction, right? That's all. That's what I want to be there to do from a business standpoint. From a medical standpoint, that's me. Again, you help me with that because we can talk about things. Sometimes I'm all about everything. If I see something new, hey, we should do this. Okay, well, that's not really something that's advantageous for us right now as a business. The ROI might not be there, and I understand that. So it's just worked well because we've learned, I feel, how to do it. It's not perfect.
No, not always.
But I'm comfortable with it. I hope you're comfortable with it. And it's just, I think it'll get better and better. We'll each find even more ways that we can help each other. Again, I have a lot of experience. I've made a lot of mistakes. That's the big thing. And I think every father can say that is, listen, I'm not trying to control you. I'm not trying to, I don't want you to make the mistakes I've made. And that's why we do what we do. We want you to, every father should, not saying every father should want their son to do better than them. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep,
you're going to want that for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
It should never be a competition. It's not. I want you to be, if you're successful, I'm successful. I mean, we're together, right? So if you're doing your job and you're doing it great, then my job is easier and we're both successful in it.
Yeah.
It's same for me. If I'm screwing up, if I'm not doing medically, ethically, morally right in how we do care for our patients, that affects you because that affects the business. So we always have to be there trying to support each other, with that, making sure, checking each other on that. Anything I ever say to you is more of a think about this. And we've gone through this. You've said things and I'm playing devil's advocate because I want you to think through it all. Mm-hmm. Because in the past, I jump and you have a little bit of that in you where we jump. We just jump. Hey, we want to do this. It needs to be done. Let's go do it. And sometimes we got to take that step back. And so I'm that for you now is, well, let's think about this. Is this really the right choice at this time?
Yeah.
Right. And then at the end of the day, I'm not going to micromanage you. I let you make a decision. Same with the medical. You might say, well, I don't necessarily, what about this, that? Okay. At the end of the day, I need to make the decision on where we're going as a company from a medical standpoint. And I think we've just gotten to that point where it works for us. It's not going to work for everybody. I'm not saying, hey, go into business with your kids or go into business with your parents.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of cases, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Most people I talk to say that it would not work.
Right.
So, and that's probably more common than not.
But I think we think through it. I try. I've always been that guy. That's why I've been really good with people, is because I always try to put myself in their place. And I try to think through, how would I feel if someone was saying this to me or if someone was doing this to me? I don't always do it, but in most cases I try to think, especially with my kids. Okay, I want to make sure that, okay, if I go at him right now with this, how is he going to react? Is that going to be a positive thing? Or is it going to be a negative thing? Is there a better way for me to do this? Is there a better way for me to approach him with this, right? And I've always been very good at that. So, I think we just continue that way. We're going to keep learning. I think we'll get better. I think the one thing you and I need to always keep in mind is communication needs to be our first thing. If we have an issue, we need to talk to each other about it, and we'll grow. We'll be great. The business will be great. I fully expect this company, our medical, to grow into something very big in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.